What's good? What's good, everybody? What is good, man? Welcome to the channel. So I've been making this is my last video for the day, for this one anyways. So this is very important because at the same sense, I want people to really comprehend this. I mentioned it last video, and this is why I wanted to talk about it. The difference between alone and being lonely. So the thing is, I'm gonna start with being lonely real quick, because being lonely is feeling like you cannot fit in. It's feeling like you are the only one. It's a mindset game where at the same time you feel like you have nobody. You feel like nobody can come in your life to help you. It just feels like you are by yourself, truly. It's something where nobody's there. Being lonely is something where you cannot feel right. It's like something you cannot understand. It's a depression. It's a feeling where you can never comprehend. I promise you. It's just something it's a seed, basically. It's a seed that's planted. Because when I see this, like truly, it makes me feel like I've been there a lot. For myself, I was lonely, man. I was very, very lonely as a kid. I mean, I was lonely because at the same time, I had no friends. I was fatherless during the time. I didn't have nobody really besides my mom, and at the same time, even though she was there, she didn't feel like she was there. Does that make sense? And over time, you know, me trying to make friends and me trying to do this and that or trying to change my life, I didn't understand it, bro. Until after high school, that's when a lot of things changed for me, because I learned so much, and then at the same time, it's just like I was holding myself back. So I held myself back a lot from opportunities. I held myself back a lot from my own self, because the thing is, this is where being alone comes from. And this is why I believe there's a God for me, because He put me in a position to understand the difference between loneliness and being alone. When you are alone, you're in isolation. You're fine in your own peace, your own comfort. You are okay. You are in a stable way of feeling like you are fine by yourself. You can do anything by yourself. You are basically becoming more whole when you are alone. Being alone is probably the best thing to start out with when you are single. It's the same thing being single. That's why being single is probably the best thing for you before a relationship, because a lot of people want to get in relationships and stuff like that, but they don't know how to be alone. You see what I'm saying? People will be feeling lonely, but they don't know how to feel alone. And that's why this is so important for people to comprehend real quick. I'm trying to break it down as much as possible, because this is very important. When you are alone, you are fine by yourself, bro. You are fine trying to love yourself. You are fine working on yourself. You are fine literally doing anything by yourself. This is what being alone is. You are a loner, bro. But at the same time, that's okay. People make it seem like it's an issue, but it's really not, because you get so far ahead not worrying about everybody else. You get so far ahead worrying about you. A lot of people are surrounded by people daily, and they can't really find themselves. They with girlfriends and boyfriends, but at the same time, they have goals and dreams they can't achieve because they have family to worry about. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, being alone is very important, because when you are alone, you can do a lot of stuff for yourself. You can become whole. You can travel by yourself. You can do all these things. You can even just chill with friends. It's not even being, it's basically being at peace with yourself, basically. So that's what being alone is, and that's what being lonely is. So the thing is, I want to encourage people, it's okay to be alone. It's okay to be alone. The thing is, if you're feeling lonely, that means you have a lot of insecurities and a lot of things you have to work on, that means. And it's okay. Everybody has something to work on. But you need to try your best to improve that. You need to try your best to outgrow that, because a lot of people does not. A lot of people do not change it. A lot of people do not improve it. A lot of people do not want to be alone, because when they get alone, they're in their thoughts, right? when they get alone, they're in their whole mind. It's like they going crazy. It's like they can't focus. It's something where it irritates them. But those people that can be alone, I'm telling y'all, those are the most will-minded people ever. They're the most like focused. They don't get irritated by things. Most likely they like being alone. There's nothing wrong being alone. They're comfortable in it. And it's like, what's the problem? What's the issue? What is the issue in me being alone? Because a lot of people feel like there's an issue in being alone, but it's not. So the reason why they feel an issue of being alone is because they compare it to being lonely. You're a lonely person. You don't have nobody. You don't have a girlfriend or boyfriend, and then at the same time in your mind you're just like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. A lot of people don't understand that, but it's okay. It's okay. You on your right. You're on your own path. You're on your own goal. Eventually, you will meet somebody. Eventually, you will meet friends. Eventually, you'll meet somebody you want to hang out with. Cool. But realize the people that are alone are more aware. They're more focused. They can see things more clear than people that are with people on a constant thing. Because they're more open to people that they don't see, when red flags are going to happen. But a person that alone is like, yeah, I can see your energy. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I can mess with you. You see what I'm saying? So it's very important, guys. It's very, very important, because at the same time, people don't realize how this impacts them. It's the same way. I would talk about being single too later on. I was talking about relationships later on. I didn't want to really talk about relationships in the beginning of my channel and stuff, but I will talk about it, because this is a problem that everybody face. You're not alone, man. And the thing is, I'm saying this because there's a lot of people that feel the same way you feel. There's a lot of people that go through the same thing you go through. There's a lot of people that goes through the same mindset of you. You have to realize this is a spiritual thing, and then this is also a mental thing too. This is something where everybody faces daily in this reality. They feel like they are alone when that's not the case. You're just lonely. Being alone is okay. You are fine by yourself. So I just wanted to go back and forth with that real quick, because people don't know what that means. People don't know what being alone is. And I'm alone most of the time. And that's okay. I mean, I just started hanging out with more people. I started hanging out with more friends. I'm starting to hang out with, I just started hanging out with more people, like literally more and more. I mean, but at the same time before that, I was lonely. Meaning I ain't really, I couldn't fit in or stuff like that. I felt like I couldn't, do this and that. You didn't fit in some places, or you feel like it's just something where it's just something you go through. It's just something you really going through inside. It's a feeling of loneliness. So that's why I say it like that. But eventually I started being okay being alone. I just started being okay with being alone. I'm like, okay, I can focus on me. I can do this. I can do that. I outgrew a lot, guys. I'm letting y'all know right now. I am not the same person like I used to be. And that's why I'm so proud of myself. This is why I want to make this channel, so people can outgrow themselves and outgrow what they're used to. Because it's hard. It's hard trying to improve. It's hard trying to outgrow. It's hard trying to do something more, because a lot of people want to be more, but they're not alone, bro. You gotta place yourself alone, bro. You have to get by yourself sometimes to really focus on your thoughts. Because when you meditating, right, you're focused on what? Your thoughts. When you are really meditating, you're focused on your thoughts. And your thoughts is what's literally killing people off. I'll be meditating literally, not all the time, but just daily from how I see things. And it's hard to explain. And there's different types of meditations, but just how I see things is just like, I'm focusing on what my thoughts are saying and what my thoughts are doing. You see what I'm saying? So I'm always focused on that. But people don't be focusing. They be trying to ignore the thoughts. They be trying to run away from the thoughts. They be trying to numb down the thoughts. You see what I'm saying? Or numb down the emotions. So this is why it's so important to take care of yourself. This is why it's so important to do things and try new things. This is why it's so important to get out of your comfort zone. Because when you do these things, you will improve and you will outgrow and you will change forever. And you will be okay being alone. And until you meet somebody else, you will be okay still alone after that. If you really, really can comprehend being alone. Because being alone You can still be with somebody and you'll be okay. You can still feel lonely with somebody. I just want y'all to know that. Loneliness do not go away. It don't. You can still feel lonely when you with somebody, depending on how bad it is. And you know, a lot of people that be feeling lonely when they break up and stuff, they can't comprehend breakups. They can't let go of breakups. They can't really focus on what the breakups are because they're not used to being alone. So I want y'all to really sink in with that difference between being alone and loneliness. And at the same time, is it time for you to be alone so you can focus on you? We'll see. Y'all have a nice day.